Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is LolaAjisafe here. We are reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, last week I might put the picture of, the little abscess. I had the dental abscess. So in the middle of the week I wasn't able to put out a video for episode 3. So I'm going to put episode 3 and 4 together. But anyway, before we start, please don't forget to like the video. Of course, let me know what you think, what you feel. I mean, this is one of my favorite reality shows because they always bring it, like there's always something going on. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button from subscribe to subscribed. All right, so let's start. First scene coming up here is a scene they've kind of shown clips of it before, but pretty much is a scene with Maurice and Marceau. So here, honestly, it just looked like Maurice is trying to save face, trying to save the situation, because I guess before he just say he didn't care, but now he realizes that what you're not going to do is sweep stuff under the carpet and we're just going to be like, go along with you. Clearly, you said, at least on camera, you said you weren't there, and we see a picture that says you were there. That shows, don't even say it shows you were there. So like, what's up? Like, you were the good guy, Maurice. Like, so we can't trust you anymore. That means we can't trust anyone. This wasn't it the last episode? Something about, that's when they said like was it last episode where they said these Scott brothers be lying? So it really doesn't put him in a great light. So I guess maybe due to some producer pushing, or maybe him, he wants to clear up the air. Marceau, he ain't budging, like, he's like, it is what it is. I mean, the truth is, from this exchange, I gather that, when they edited the reunion, they edited out his full explanation. So maybe he had said yes, but I wasn't something, but we just got like a shortened version, just like a yes or no response. And his response was more of a gray answer, but the edited response gave us a white or black answer. And so we're like, bruh, like it don't sound right. That's all I'm gathering from this scene. Of course, Martel was there. Martel's getting some good edits this season. That Chris White shirt he wasn't playing. So you know what? I would just say, yeah, it seems like it appears that during the reunion, Maurice was dancing about the truth. I guess he didn't want to be involved. So they end on a note where, Marceau said he's going to apologize to Kimmy because he realizes Kimmy's getting some flack now because of all the stuff, the linebacker stuff that's been going on. But let's see. But I would say, like, it looked like of recent there have been some IG videos and lives, Ariane, Kari, and Martel. So I don't know if they've reactivated their relationship. At the end of this scene, there's of note, of course, Martel is still sympathizing with, Louis and Tiffany. I'm not sure why, because we saw what we saw. Like the rest of us watching the show, I'm not really a fan of theirs right now because they didn't appear to be, they didn't come across as authentic and real. They came across as a bit of a busybody feel, particularly Tiffany. Louis less so, but just there to support his wife and having to play along with his wife and support her. But they did just come across as a couple who are just, like here to stir it up, here for TV time. And they realized that, in order to get, TV time, you have to be a bit of a, mix it up a bit. So they've just been mixing up and stirring the pot. That's how they've come across from last season. So I'm not sure where this narrative of, we were unjustly portrayed during the reunion, that why did you say this? Like, I don't want to keep hearing this, like, we need to be done with this. This is what we saw. Now, I don't know what happened if there's some scenes that justify some of their behavior, some of their, confessional, dialogues. I don't know. But as of, as one of the viewers, they didn't come across crispy clean. So there is no question. So I'm not sure why Martel is surprised that, why did you guys come at them at the reunion? Yeah, I would have come at them too, because they were just doing too much. First of all, you start with someone's kid, then you start with someone's marriage, just always having something like little nice nasty to say. And now you're acting surprised that both the rest of the cast and the audience, the public at large, have a funny look. We're looking at you funny, because it's not adding up. But let's see how this plays. Maybe there's something we don't know. Maybe it might come. I don't know, but I'm not buying what they're selling. Are y'all? Because I'm not. Of course, there's a scene with Louis and Tiffany recapping the pajama party. I said I still believe there's a story there. That it's like the phrase she made reference to was when she was talking to the 4 ladies on the couch. Episode 2, when she said something about, it's like same thing as me making reference to someone when they were 12 years old. That was not coincidence. There's something there, but I suppose Stormy has warned them that you better stop playing with me. Like I'm not playing with you. So even Tiffany's not even, she just like some stuff spills out of her mouth like she's got verbal diarrhea, she's not saying anything, or maybe they've made a great effort to edit it out. But either way, Stormy's not playing with any of y'all. So what you're not going to do is put her tea out there about something. Because even Carlos King had a little IG live where he's like, there's nothing to it. My bra, like, you saying there's nothing to it, you know, but yet finding the smoke, trying to keep it down. We can see the smoke. There's something there. I mean, for her own safety, I mean, it doesn't make the storyline any juicier. I mean, if she don't want it out there, she don't want it out there, but it might make the storyline juicier. But either way, she will respect her privacy until she decides to do otherwise. So, you know, they're having the recap, and then she's talking with, you know, Louis, recapping him. Like once again, I don't know why they're acting like did they not see themselves last season? Like they seem perplexed as to why people have a certain reaction to them. Please go rewatch last season and then come back and have this conversation, because you guys seem to be like and then you look at smart people, but it's like, you know, it's like the dots are not connecting for you. Quick scene with and the reason why I'm bringing it up, there's a quick scene with Mel and her daughter. I believe her name is Mariah. She's, you know, they're cute. They have a room, audition room. So, you know, Mel's serious about her career, and I guess she's getting her daughter in it too. So they're running lines, running the camera, and she just said, you know, what was important to her was just kind of showing her daughter, like, look, you know, you can. As a woman, you can do this on your own. You can do a lot of things. You can be a mom. You can do this. You can get your business going. So she said, aka she's trying to show her daughter how to be a boss lady, and I'm not mad at that. And she's not saying, because if you see the way she raises her children, they all say yes, ma'am. They do all these they are very respectful and well-behaved children. So she's not saying you don't need this, but what she is emphasizing for her daughter is that, you know, definitely, you know, there's nothing wrong with being a boss lady. Make things happen, because there's one thing I've always said, and I'm still saying now and tomorrow, is I've said that I would say God bless a woman who has her own, because there's a certain amount of manipulation that occurs when a woman has to depend on someone. I don't care who. When you have to depend on someone, you're open to manipulation and someone trying to get their way and make you do what you don't necessarily want to do. So like I was saying with Martel, looks like I'd said before that, you know, definitely in this country we do like, we're sucker for a good comeback story. So it's likely that you know, Martel will definitely, if he keeps it up and does what he's doing, follows his manager's ideas, and they come up with good ideas, he'll go back to where he needs to be. It looks like he did hit rock bottom, but you know, it took him a second, but he's getting it together. So I see him making a good deal of it, unless he does something else that's silly that brings him back down again. Right, so there's this scene, the book signing scene. You know, apparently he wrote a book with his kids, and now he says he had sent. So that we're seeing two sides. On one hand, we see him and his manager Melnika in the hall getting ready, still waiting for the kids. The question now is, he did confess that that the book signing was scheduled on the week that, you know, Mel has the kids. But he says he had, you know, his story is that he had given her advance notice. Do I need to get the girls here ready? Do I need to do this? You know, like he'd set it up. On the other hand, you know, Mel is looking like, okay, maybe I got an email from him, but she has other plans with the kids and is heading on out. Like she's making no bones about, she's not phased. Now she knows Martel very well, so there's a reason. I suppose there's a reason. The question now is, why did he go ahead and let the book signing be set up on a week that wasn't his? Because it's his book signing, so it could have been scheduled. So the question is, why did he allow it to play like that? One, or maybe just being a man being a man, let things slide through. I don't know. And then second thing is, okay, is there a reason why Mel was just really seemed fixed about her and the kids traveling out of town? Because it wasn't that they were just there. Like, she had a good reason. She said they're going out of town, they'd recently lost someone, she's going to get with the family. So it's like, you know, the two things can be true at the same time. I say this because one, she may not want to, you know, have to, I guess, fall just to his every whim. So he decided just to do something on her week. And it's likely they've had this kind of thing before. They've had this kind of contest before. They've had this kind of disagreement before. So maybe there's that part there where she's like, what I'm not going to do is change my plans, because all of a sudden you've got this minute thing. And then secondly, there also is true she lost a family member, so this is like a perfect reason for her to go and also teach him a lesson at the same time. I don't know, but it just seemed, looking at the scene with him in the hallway, they edited it kind of nice, so he looked kind of sad. They got some sympathy from us as the viewing audience, and not to say I have sympathy for Mel too, because at the same time I don't want someone constantly trying to manipulate situations, but then just kind of hiding their hands like they're not doing anything. So there's that question there too. One thing I do like seeing more of Melnika. She seemed like a solid character, because even though it worked against her planning as his manager, she still had an understanding. It's like, what, this is a new situation for you guys, new co-parenting positions, so we just have to iron things out and just be more organized. I just like the way she was. She just very, let's keep it going, let's get on with it, let's get on. It was really nice. So going into episode 4, it looked like we're still talking about this pajama party. All right, so here Mel and Tiffany have their conversation, a recap in the pajama party. What Mel says, Mel is almost acting like a producer here, because she's like, there's some, like, she seemed less like a cast member, more like a producer in that role, where she's like, well, if you don't get along with the girls and well, you don't have to, you could, just agree to disagree and just be cordial. Like, it was just that scene, that part of the scene seemed, all right, go ahead, produce. I see you producing your own scene. And then they go on to the book signing. And so, like I said last week's episode, I definitely felt some compassion for Martell when and they kept panning to the empty chairs with the names of the kids. Like, they're trying to like get evoke some emotion from us. I see what you people are doing. You guys are really sympathizing and giving Martell a good edit this season. I see this. I'm not mad at you, because he needs a bolster. We need to bring him back up. We hit him right down what we didn't. He did it to himself. But he's hit the ground. Now let's help him climb up. That's what it looks like. But I hope you give that same compassion to a woman who falls in the same position. I'm just saying, like, a woman sometime later on is found to be cheating around and that y'all will show the same compassion. So Tiffany's asking that, oh, why didn't you come for the why didn't you and the kids come for the book signing? That Martell said you guys were meant to be there. And then of course that's when Mel explains that I got an email like a day or 2 days prior to that. I didn't know anything of it. And then she kind of told another reason. She said, yes, I had a death in the family. Like I was saying, 2 things coming right at the same time. And then of course she says what she's not going to allow happen is let an ex continue to exercise control and manipulate how her life moves and emotions. And that's true really, because Martell does have this sense of entitlement. Like, even when he was talking about in confessionals, like, he's not letting us know that, okay, he's never confessed and said, maybe I shouldn't have done this, or maybe I should have done it. He never really has this moment of self-reflection where he says to himself what he should be doing. He always has a reason to point at somebody else. So he hasn't told us that maybe I should have done it this way, maybe I should have just had it on my week. Like, he still seems to be pointing at me. And they go in talking about Tiffany. I guess like I said, Mel producing her own scene. She's acknowledging to us that it's true that last season, not the words, but I'm just saying, I'm telling you what I think Mel's thinking. That really did look like we didn't really get to see or get a sense of who Tiffany and her husband are. So immediately they start talking, like when she talks about how it's difficult to be divorced, and then this and then that, and then that's when Mel prompts her to tell us about the divorce. And so what happened? And and that's when Tiffany honestly admits that she left her ex for financial reasons. And then Mel, she producing her own scene again. She recapped it like she's a producer behind the scenes. So you're saying that we got this. So the general gist here is that Tiffany's letting us know, and Mel is emphasizing that her first marriage broke down because Tiffany decided that she didn't want to struggle anymore. She knew her ex loved her, but it was just struggle, and she just wanted a better financial situation. Okay, we get that, And she did say she took advantage of the fact that she knew that her ex loved her. At the same time, she said they were soulmates, and then we get that apparently and I feel like the fact that she said apparently the ex has since passed. So now it seems almost sometimes when someone's not around, you romanticize certain things when they die. Like, we say all the good things after someone dies. So now, after he's dead, she says that he was like her soulmate. I'm not here to question her. I'm just saying it just seems a little strange that it's after you divorced him and after he's died, they're like, oh, that was my soulmate. But I was looking for a better financial situation. I know, but even though, I do have some questions to the way she's reporting it, you definitely see some vulnerability, at least a good attempt. There's some tears, and we're like, okay, I see another side to her. She's not gossiping about somebody right now. Like, we're going to be recapping this pajama party for another 2 episodes. So anyway, we have a meeting with Kimmy and Tisha. So they meet outside at the fire pit, they're talking, they're rehashing, they kind of solve their problem about, because everybody's kind of still rehashing what occurred during the reunion. So Carlos King had asked Kimmy a question like, you know what, if Tisha wasn't family, would you still have a relationship with her? And rightfully so, and honestly so, you know, Kimmy said no. Like, I don't deal with this kind of back and forth drama. Like, if I had a friend who I had to keep going back and forth to reiterate certain things, there just wouldn't be a relationship anymore. That was the truth. Of course, you know, Tisha took it personal and was like, okay, well, let's just be family, let's not be friends. And so, you know, Kimmy used this opportunity to just try and explain. I'm not saying I've given up on you, I'm not saying we're not friends, I'm just saying that, you know me, I don't do beef like that. Like, I don't wake up and do beef. I'm not Miss Wanda. Like, I'm not saying she didn't say that, I'm saying that's what she's thinking. Like, if we're not getting on and we always have to keep rehashing things, then there's no need for a relationship. But I'm not saying that's the case with you, I'm just saying that's the way I answered the question. And, you know, Tisha's relieved, you know, because I know she don't want to beef with anyone. And so they just recap, you know, how much fun she had at the honeymoon. And then she decides to let her know about, you know, and she had said it during her confessional the week prior, how she felt a little uncomfortable with the way everyone was talking about Tisha and her marriage, even though Tisha wasn't there. And the fact that her cousin Keke was there, and not just there, but actually participating in the conversation. So they get talking and they conclude that, you know what you should do is meet up with Keke, break some bread, and just see if you guys can iron out and straighten it out, because family's family, right? All right, so we have a scene where I guess finally Louis is going to meet up with Marceau. Of course, Maurice is there. I guess Maurice is there to just make sure everything stays smooth, or whatever the case may be. So it's Marceau, Maurice, and Louis. At first, you know, it almost looked like they're trying to do tag team, but it is what it is. You know, those Scott brothers, don't be playing with them. And so they all sit down, you know, and it almost like, yeah, that's the scene. They all sit down looking like, all right, let's go. And I like that Marceau is consistent. He you know, when they say keep that same energy, he kept that same energy. Because his point is here, what you're not going to do is, I don't know you like that. And I saw the confessionals they had with you and your wife. You have no business talking about me and my marriage. I'm just saying, like, you've been divorced, you're on your second marriage. That don't make you a professional. One, two, even if it makes you a professional, I didn't invite you to make a comment. So you having something to say, like, I'm not amused by that. And so Louis was like, you know, goes talking, well, you know, the way you guys came at us during the reunion, you know, don't you think that was really unfair? He's like, it was probably, you know, harsh or hard, but it was fair. And I have to agree, like, most of the time I seem to agree with myself. Like I said, he's a villain we love to hate. Like, he's practical, he's logical, and he's not going on emotion. It's true. What we saw, you know, maybe saying it to you in the way he said it to you may have been harsh or hard, but it wasn't a lie. It wasn't, you know, it was fair, it was just, it was what was presented to us. Maybe there's some scenes on the floor that we didn't get to see that might have put them in a better light, but based on the edit they got last season, they look like busybodies. So I'm not sure if they didn't see the same edits we saw. Maybe there's some other scenes that they remember recording and saying nice things but didn't make it to the final cut, because the couple just came off like just a set of busybodies wanting camera time. So Maurice jumps in and says, you know what, Marceau, no. So actually first Louis gives an apology. He acknowledges that it's true, because actually that's after Maurice's prompting and kind of rephrasing certain things, like, you know what, yeah, you guys know each other, but he didn't write blah blah blah. Did he say he's sorry? Okay, we get he's sorry. He didn't really instigate, to be honest. Louis didn't really start the conversation. It was his wife Tiffany that started that whole rigmarole, even in the confessional. And of course Louis went along with it. So he definitely participated, but he didn't instigate it, he didn't start it, but he followed along. I guess, you know, when you become one, he has to follow what his wife is doing. So yeah, I give him that. He apologizes, and then of course Maurice is saying that, okay, you know, Marceau, you need to apologize too for. I don't see the reason why I need to apologize. Like, he mixing issues, because he's now talking behind the scenes, talk about, yeah, Marceau's become a different person, he's a little arrogant now that the money's here. Then, like, no, Maurice, like, you mixing issues, you're conflating issues. Like, you probably still thinking about that picture, so you're still a little hurt about it. But anyway, I think Marceau apologizes. They iron it out. Let's see what happens to this. So next thing we have Martel meeting up with Mel Nika, his manager, in her office. And like I said, you know, it really looks like they're trying to rebuild both his public persona and his career one brick at a time. So it's like, okay, they talk about he's got a book coming out, they recap like the wine, and I think they were now talking about, okay, with the book signing, she once again acknowledges that, you know what, they'll just, you know, next time they'll just make sure that they, you know, everything is booked on his week, so this won't occur again. And you know, once again, Mel Nika's still coming off like a solid character. I don't know if she's friends with Mel, because there's an understanding there as a woman that, okay, it didn't work out, but we'll just try and be more understanding of this dynamic until you guys figure it out, and so it becomes more fluid. But we just have to be more careful with scheduling, because I feel like Martel's still a bit entitled about the whole thing, but he's gonna have to learn if he really want to grow. Maybe this can be an opportunity for him to grow, because if he's really trying to grow, yeah, he's gonna have to really look at it from her perspective as well. And then, of course, Melnika's talking about, okay, for the wine tasting, they're going to schedule in Atlanta, get celebrities. And she's like, who are you inviting? Because that last post that was going on, like, I don't need that kind of energy coming into this event. Like, that's not what we need to rebuild. Thank you, Melnika. Like, these boys just playing like they, she's like, if y'all want to do those kind of things, you all need to get like a group chat and do it amongst each other. Boom. Like, you tell them. And then she did crack a little joke about, who does he want? She talked about he wants pretty ladies. And she cracks the joke about the linebackers. The linebacker crack is about, Arian Curry mentioning that the other guys had linebackers with them. And that's who they were talking to. So we have a scene with Stormy and Tiffany. I guess Stormy had said about this meeting with Tiffany just to get to know her better. They recap the pajama party again. And then she's like, look, you know what? Maybe we got off on the wrong foot. Let's get to know each other. So they got chatting, and there's a scene where just like, and we know it's editing. It looked like Tiffany going on. And it looked like, you could see Stormy kind of looking like she's spacing out, like, damn, this girl could talk. That's what she's thinking. It's like, oh, man. So eventually Stormy's like, you know what? I tuned out like 5 sentences ago. Hook me up. But that didn't cause any rift. Tiffany looked and stopped, and they were able to have like a back and forth. And she lets us know. Stormy opens up when they're talking about pregnancy, and then she happens to mention that she'd gone through IVF. It was successful with her first round, which is not the normal. All the time people go through 2 or 3 rounds before they're successful. But it was successful the first round. But yeah, the pregnancy was a difficult pregnancy for her. So it's not likely she's going to repeat it again. So she opens up about that. And then, as they close up, because sometimes something tragic can bring people together. Not tragic, but something really painful, because she did have the child and the child is alive. And so that's when Tiffany's like, oh, we good? I love Stormy, like, keep it real. She's like, I'm not saying we're good, we're doing okay. But let's just keep working at it. Let's take our time. I'm with you, Stormy, because I don't trust you. Because Stormy saw you last season. Like, what I'm not going to do is turn my back to you, because you're going to put that, the knife right between my shoulder blades. That's not what I'm not going to do. Is I'm not going to do that. So Tisha, I guess final scene. Tisha and Keke finally meet up. So Tisha goes to the Black Lounge to meet up with Keke. Keke sits down, and so the question now is, she's talking to her cousin. Yo, cuz, like, why were you at this place talking about me? And instead of the cousin to say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have, she lets us know there was a tit for tat. So now she's talking about, Keke is talking about some issue that occurred 5 years prior. Word on the street, something about maybe possible drug use. And what she's saying is that Tisha had gone to warn Martel and Mel about her cousin, because she said they met her cousin through her. Maybe to tell them, like, yo, be careful. This is what I know she's she's going through this, or she's going through that. And so, of course, after that, I guess this happened 5 years ago. After that event, she had gone back, sat down with Keke, and told her this is what I said. They apologized. Apparently, they had mended fences, but clearly they haven't, because now, Keke's justifying her doing tea time with Mel because she said she did the same thing with her. I'm not sure why we are rehashing a 5-year thing. 1, 2. If this truly was about some prior drug use or something, just not, flattering. It's not to Keke's benefit to bring that up as a reason. What she should have done was really apologize. But then herein lies what I think is going on. Keke look at her cousin, Tisha. She been on this show how many seasons now? She wants some of the limelight, so she ready to sell her left leg for it. So she trying to bring up old stuff to get some more camera time. Oldest trick in the book. So now she even got like a real scene. I'm saying Keke now. So apparently you and I, and now wherever Keke, I couldn't pick her up in the lineup, but still I'm saying her name. So if that's what she wanted, it hasn't been successful. But the truth is, it's like, how long is this gonna last for? This 3-second fame, like, Keke, and we know the song by Drake. Like, I know that, but it's like, in a month from now, am I still going to be saying that? So I don't know if it's to her benefit to have brought that up and to also stir things between her and her cousin. So let's see how this goes. Of course, as usual, which is normal human nature, Tisha needs to, talk to someone about it. So she quickly calls Kimmy on the line when she walks outside. And of course, Keke comes out, sees her talking. She's like, who are you talking to again? To be continued, guys. Let's see how this goes. It was Keke Keke trying to get camera time. Keke saw Miss Wonder. Like, this is it. Keke saw Miss Wonder, you know, get a little popular. Now Miss Wonder's, you know, got some, you know, people know her. She's got some followers, and that's what Keke want that too. That's how it looked like to me. Unless something else comes up, that's what it looks like to me. So she ready to sell her left leg for that. So let's see how this goes. So it's to be continued. Let's see if they have this conversation. They settle their beef. Question really now is, why did Mel invite Keke? Was she trying to stir the pot, or was she just trying to say, like, I don't care what happens between me and Tisha, what you're not going to do is dictate how I have. And she has that attitude too. She definitely doesn't want to be manipulated or controlled by situations. So it could be one or the other, or it could be a bit of both. She might have a relationship a bit with Keke and still doesn't want to be, because I'm not talking to Tisha doesn't mean I'm not going to talk to Keke. And then, yeah. And then, of course, she might also want to stir things up. She's a producer on the show, not just executive producer. So here goes. So, guys, we've reached the end of the day. I've tried to put together 3 and 4, like I said. And, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video. Lola, over and out.